So there's a man from Montana named Samuel Hoffman, and back in 1978, Samuel discovered that we actually have a twin solar system that our government wasn't telling us about. The government found out about Samuel's discovery and not long afterwards forced Samuel into signing a 30-year non-disclosure agreement to keep him quiet. That agreement ended in 2010, which was the same year these other planets started becoming visible. Samuel said they do not want people to know these other planets exist because some of the planets are inhabited and Earth is actually considered a factory planet where we provide commodities like gold to some of these other planets in this other solar system. This other system travels on an elliptical cycle, and every 3,600 or so years our two solar systems meet up. This is the real reason for why our skies look as strange as they do. We're seeing the atmospheres of these other planets that are currently in between Earth and our Sun. Each planet has its own particular looking colors and cloud textures which have been studied and documented for over 10 years now. Also, back in the early 80s, Samuel was abducted by a Pleiadian who supplied Samuel with the names of these planets, one of which is Nibiru. Samuel also has a rare ability called farsighting, which allows him to see visions in his mind of these other planets, their moons, and even the asteroids that are associated with this other system. He then draws out what he sees, and I'm here to tell you, his accuracy is undeniable. Also, gravity is basically a lie. We actually live in an electrical universe, not gravitational. These planets repel electromagnetically. They create powerful lightning storms as they push themselves away from Earth. There's literally no limit to the number of lies our government tells in order to keep people from knowing this other system exists and is passing above our heads daily. Things like climate change, geoengineering, Project Bluebeam, HARP, the Sun Simulator, and even chemtrails are all cover-ups and distractions to explain away all the strange effects that we're seeing in our skies today. They have conditioned most people into believing all the streaks we see in the sky are man-made chemtrails when actually most of these streaks are caused by these other planets and asteroids dragging across our atmosphere. Only a small amount are man-made. For more information on our twin solar system, I recommend you go to YouTube to see Samuel Hoffman's collection of videos and interviews, as well as finding him on Facebook under Montana Skywatcher #2, as well as visiting our Nibiru Followers Anonymous group. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so here's a quick run through of what's going on with our sky. For starters, there's another entire solar system that is passing just outside Earth's atmosphere that we're not being told about. That is why the sky looks the way it does day in and day out, and has for several years now. This other solar system arrived back in 2009. And they don't tell us because they don't want us to know, because our entire existence is a lie. Earth is actually considered a factory planet, and we are used to provide goods and commodities to races on these other planets, two of them, which are Nibiru and Saru. In this other solar system, there are 8 planets and another sun. The second sun is located behind our sun. Gravity is mostly a lie. We actually live in an electrical universe, not gravitational. So these planets can pass incredibly close, and they repel electromagnetically. They create very powerful storms and lightning storms as they push themselves away. So this evening, to the right of the sun, is where Isatum is. So it's Isatum's moon in front of Isatum, in front of Nibiru, always to the right of our sun. Sunrise, sunset, doesn't make a difference. It's always to the right of our sun. And that's why you see this flared out shape. The darker the blue is, then that's the shadow of a planet. And the lighter the blue is, down around the horizon level, that's Earth's atmosphere. But that is why it's fanning upwards and outwards in different directions. Those are planets when that happens. And then, starting to the far, far right of our sun is the band of Nepicity. And again, you see it's fanning out. Nepicity's tilted base right here. You can see the tilt. And again, it's fanning out and up. A little earlier this evening was Attu, more noticeable, but this is where Attu is in the southeast. And then to the lower left side of the sun is where Uri is located. These streaks, definitely some of these streaks are chemtrails. I saw them out spraying earlier today. But just know this, that most of the streaks we see every day are not man-made. They spray because they're trying to mimic the effects that these planets are creating on our atmosphere. These planets, as they move by, they are dragging across Earth's atmosphere and they are creating long streaks across our sky. So they spray to try to convince people that what they're seeing is all man-made when it's not. Most of the streaks we see are because of the planets and asteroids moving by. Each planet has its own particular looking clouds and effects that it makes in our sky. And they have been studied now for 13 years. We have 13 years of photographic documentation that prove this is really happening. And this is the real reason for why our weather is becoming so chaotic and so destructive. Like recently in California, those kind of floods, except we're seeing that happen worldwide. Most people don't have any idea about how much flooding we're seeing. These planets are already doing a lot of damage, and they have been for several years now. Again, unless you're out looking for that information, you won't know, because the media hardly ever touches on it. Unless it's to a point to where they have to say something. But otherwise, no. A lot of damages go along and it's never reported. All of the information I share is from Samuel Hoffman. He is the person that discovered this other solar system back in the late 70s. He was put under a 30-year non-disclosure agreement when the government found out that he made this discovery. They had him sign a 30-year non-disclosure agreement to keep him from talking about it. And they threatened him harshly. And he'd never talked until the disclosure agreement ended, which was 2010. And he's been talking ever since. He has a group on Facebook called Montana Skywatchers #2. And he's also on YouTube under Sam Hoffman. And I also recommend going to a channel called Radio Wasteland. They are a channel that does interviews, and they have probably 50 interviews with Sam on there. So you go to their playlist and so you see Samuel Hoffman, and he does interviews every few months with them, and so he has recent information there. And I have a group on Facebook called Nibiru Followers Anonymous. So we have over 50,000 people worldwide sharing pictures daily of what's happening. So once you start to see that the same clouds are appearing in multiple locations over and over again all around the world, that's when you know they're not just clouds, but there's something behind it that's making that happen, because this is very, very repetitive. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here for today. I appreciate you all so much, and y'all take care. Bye.